Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Stay Slick with Kit channel. We are here on a live right now. I've got a couple of great ladies lined up. This is going to be a new series when I talk to women, and I can talk to guys as well, but primarily women. And I want us to see what we can do to attract the person we want. I want to help these women through their situationship. I want you guys to chime in as well in terms of what you think about certain things. And yeah, let's get it going. So I've got Tamsin coming in, so I'm gonna add Tamsin in, and we're gonna start. Tamsin, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. Nice to join you
I
live.
know. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So first, tell us your name and age, and let's start with where you're based.
So I'm in London. I'm Tamsin. Online, I'm called Truly Talks.
Nice.
Um, and I'm 38. Just
Okay.
38. I turned 38 last week.
Oh, congratulations, March baby.
Pisces.
I
Pisces
know,
king.
same as me. I turn 30
Ooh.
next week.
Oh,
Come
okay.
on. I know, I know. And we want to talk about a situation that maybe you are in right now. What's your love life like right now? Where you at?
Um, so I'm in a long-term relationship.
Hmm.
I have three children. One currently with my partner now. Um, we are looking obviously to get married because it's been a long time, but we're
How
prioritizing.
long has it been?
Oh, 9 years. At the end of this month, it'll be 9 years.
9 years.
Very long time.
Why has it been so long since before you got married?
Oh, to be honest, I just did not want to get married, and I think that's partly out of fear, um, through
Okay.
previous relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as we're getting older, and as my mindset's changed and I've done some healing work and stuff like that,
Mm.
it's become important. So, but we're prioritizing buying a house and all that kind of stuff. So,
So
because we,
you didn't get married because you didn't want to get married.
yeah, well, yeah, I had a lot of reservations about it in the beginning.
Mm.
Um, it was something that he said immediately, like, like in the first like few months, I want to marry you. Like, spoke to my mom and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, just thinking it was just gonna be. Oh, I didn't know what kind of relationship would be at that point. Um,
Yeah.
so I wasn't, too worried about that. Um, but yeah, just over the years, particularly after we had our son, we started to talk about it more seriously, make plans. I know the ring has been bought and all that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
I'm all good. Um,
She feels settled. She feels
yeah, yeah,
settled.
yeah. I'm very settled. I'm very grown up now. I've got 2 years until I'm 40. So, I've got um
Hey, better late
but
than
yeah.
never. No, I'm teasing you. I'm just teasing you. I just want to say, welcome, Mirad Semra. If I butchered your names, good evening. She said, good evening to all and everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about a situationship where you're like, what the hell's going on? So you said you
I've
had
got
one in
I've got
mind.
I've got one. Yeah. So
Talk to me.
an ex I was with for maybe 3 years. Um I jumped into that relationship like head first. It was immediately after a breakup.
Mm,
My children were still young. So I was really in a vulnerable space. Um and I jumped in just I guess wanting that closeness and connection with someone. I was so used to being in long-term relationships.
mm,
And obviously had young children. So I was like, right, I need to get back to what I'm used to.
mm,
Um
mm.
so I jumped in. To be honest, I wasn't even that physically attracted to him. And we started speaking on Facebook. But we had built up such a nice rapport and got along really well, and spoke loads on the phone. And then when we eventually met up, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, but it's workable. It's workable, but yeah.
Okay.
Um,
What made you give it a chance if you knew you weren't attracted to him?
Probably because I prioritized the rapport that we'd already had. and built up. And I did really genuinely like him. We had a lot of the same values. And yeah, he made me laugh and stuff like that. But I didn't find him ugly. I just didn't go, oh yeah. I just didn't have that thing.
Yeah.
And then
Just
when
to
I
just to kind of on that, Murad asked, I think is a good question. What
Mhm,
was the desirable trait that made you decide to give him a chance? Because I know you said about having the rapport, but I
mhm.
think there are plenty of guys probably that you've had in your life that you had a rapport with. So what was it about this guy that you're like, oh, he may not be as physically attractive as what I would like, but I'm gonna give this a chance. What was it about him?
um, he really liked me, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it
He
was the
really liked
commitment, the
me.
attention.
Yeah, he gave me lots of attention. He was very attentive. We'll say more about that in a little while, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He was very attentive, messaged me loads. I got a lot of the attention that I needed. And as I said, because we got on so well, it felt very natural
Okay.
at the time. It felt
Yeah.
very natural at the time, yeah.
Mm.
Um, and I know, like, as a female, and especially as I came up in a single parent home, like was completely abandoned by my dad,
Mm.
I definitely felt a need for attention, like male attention a lot.
Okay.
So, and this is like in my early 20s. So, and I feel like a lot of young women in their early 20s will resonate with that, especially if they've got, like, the stereotypical daddy issues. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was the attention I got mainly.
Okay. So this guy, this was a guy who gave you a lot of attention and validation,
Yes, that's a good
and
word. Yeah,
and
validation.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and even though there wasn't that initial attraction, you were like, I'm gonna give it a chance because I'm still receiving some value here.
hmm And I
Okay.
guess straight after a breakup where I had been cheated on,
Yeah.
and you're lacking that value. Listen, I was not short of, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but I was not short of male attention. But
Mm.
it was the attentiveness that I got from him. It was the everyday check-ins. It was the how we use. It was the compliments, and it was the yeah. So validation and attention. Yeah, good word.
Okay. Okay, I get that. Let's see. Mira Semre just said he presented himself as the prime companion whom
Mhm,
appeared at the right time of her life, a time
mhm.
when she was going through things emotionally. Would you think
Yeah,
that's a fair statement?
100%. He saw my vulnerability. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, okay. We've got Kimberly Okoye in the house. She knows who she is. Just to say, we appreciate your openness and vulnerability. We do.
Thank you.
We do appreciate. So, what happened? What happened in this situation where with this guy where you were like, What is this? Like, I don't understand."
So, um, some months went by, some years went by. Maybe about a year in,
Hmm.
I started to notice that he was putting his phone down the other way. Yeah. So
Okay.
face down, ass up way. Okay.
Face down,
And
ass up.
yeah, and I was like lying in bed, and he was conked out, fast asleep. And I had noticed this for about 3 weeks. I had asked him, I told him, look, this is what I'm observing. Are you doing it? Are you noticing you're doing it? Or are you trying to pull a fast one here? Because I'm not a dickhead. You're not going to treat me like an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Giving it all of that. And he, denied any, oh, I didn't even notice,
Hmm.
So one night, his phone was ping, 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 ping. And I've always been an outwardly confident person, and I've never been an insecure person, especially when it came to males, because I've always got male attention, sexual attention from men. Yeah.
Sure.
Even from a young age. And even in the relationship where the one before this one, where I'd been cheated on,
Mm.
I left immediately. I held my dignity, and I left. And I was like, very proud of myself that I didn't stay somewhere where I didn't feel appreciated and loved. And I'd never looked through anyone's phone before this. So the first time that the phone was ding, 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 and it was late at night, and I was like, what the hell? Didn't look. And I thought, if it ever happens again, I'm gonna look.
Why, just before we go on, why did you make that decision for yourself? Why did you say that? Like, if it happens again, I'm gonna look. Why?
Because for the whole year, for the whole duration of our relationship up until that point, there were no signs. I hadn't noticed anything up until, a couple weeks before, where the phone, I was like, why is he all of a sudden putting the phone down?
Okay.
And I think where I had been previously cheated on, and then now going into a new relationship, what I didn't want to do is project my shit onto this situation.
That's good.
So I
Being
told
very
myself,
aware.
so I told myself, look, you could just be in your head here. You haven't really you haven't really healed from that last thing. So let's just, give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't know, he hasn't noticed he's been putting his phone down.
Yeah, that's good.
So I thought, okay, let me just see if this happens again. It was literally the next night.
Okay.
So I was like, and I'm a very light sleeper because as I said, I had young children. They weren't babies still, but and any mums listening, they will know, once you have your kids, you are a light sleeper forever.
Yeah.
So it was maybe about 1 a.m. and I was like, right, the man's snoring. Let me pick up the phone. And I looked, and it was a girl ringing. And I was like, okay. So I did some investigations, which I'm not proud of, on Facebook at the time.
What did you do?
What I did is, I should probably be like PC Tamsin. I got the name from the phone.
Yeah.
And I cross-referenced that on Facebook to see if there was any
Connection.
Bingo,
Okay.
there was. And then up came a parade of messages, like going back for like 7-8 months. And I was
Wait,
like,
on his Facebook?
yeah.
So you were logged into his Facebook, and then you
I weren't
cross-referenced
logged
the
in.
name.
I just opened the laptop. It was
But
already
it was logged in on his Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did some snooping. I said I was an investigator at this point, yeah.
Sure.
Not
You were
proud
going
of
in.
it, because it's invading someone's privacy, and I would never do that now. But at that time, my gosh, I was a mess, honestly. Emotionally, I was a mess. I was a bit of a wreck at that point. Anyway,
Sure.
I looked, found, saw what I didn't want to see.
How far back did it go?
8 months, 7,
And
8 months.
how long you been together at this point?
So like maybe around a year. I can't remember exactly,
So
but
from
around,
like a few months of.
basically, you was the whole time. The whole
Okay.
time.
Okay.
So obviously I was livid, but I was more, I froze. And when I say I froze, I don't mean like in that moment. I mean, for the next like maybe month or so, I froze. Like, I feel like when I look back at that time, I was just in a state of numbness and
So
shock.
when you say you froze for a month, what did that look like in the relationship? Was that you weren't having sex with him anymore? Was it that you weren't really, being as affectionate? Like, what did that look like?
I just retreated into myself. I did have sex because I feel like we were still having sex. I never initiated it. I didn't feel, my sexy, confident self to initiate and be lovey-dovey how I was. But I would reciprocate whatever he started.
Yeah.
I wasn't calling him as much. I just retreated into myself. I wasn't as open, and yeah, I just kind of, the numbness was more in me
Okay.
than outwardly behaviors.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think he even really noticed, to be honest. But then that might be because he's got this one and that one and this one and that one and me just there. So him not noticing, I don't know whether that was just because I wasn't presenting outwardly or because of his own stuff going on. But yeah,
So you
I
feel
felt like,
he didn't notice that shift in you at all?
no.
prior to the phone issue.
No, I'm a good actress as well.
Well, fair enough. I hear you.
So
So what did you do?
so I told my friend, who's another investigator, and it just so happened that she knew somebody that knew another female that he was close with, a girl that he was like, he worked in the same kind of industry with.
Mhm.
And they had this like holiday trip thing. And she found out on that trip that there was another girl, and confirmed that about this girl that I'd found on Facebook.
Okay.
And I was so ashamed, and I felt so embarrassed that I was still there, because it'd already been confirmed to me. I already knew, I had evidence.
Mm.
But I was still there. And yeah, I was just, what did I do? I said nothing, you know. I said nothing.
Why? Because that's a choice you made. You decided not
Yeah,
to say
I
anything.
said nothing. I said nothing about that girl, and I said nothing about the one that my friend met. What happened was, we were at an event. Sorry, this is so long ago, so my memory's not great. But I remember we were at an event, and the girl that my friend had spoken to on this trip abroad was there.
Okay.
And she knew about another girl that he
Right.
was, yeah. So you can imagine me, and that girl was at the venue, at the event. It
Yeah.
was a day event, like on the river, blah, 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 music and games and whatnot. It was a really nice event. And I sat down in that event, and I just watched him. And I think for the first time, I actually really saw him.
What do you mean?
I think for the beginning stages of the relationship, I was so wrapped up in what I was getting out of the relationship, how I could please him in the relationship, that I wasn't really looking at who he was, and did I
Mm.
really align with this man. So I watched him, I watched his behavior, and I thought, wow, I don't even know you.
Interesting.
Mm,
It's funny because there's so many parallels where I've seen this happen on
mhm,
both sides of the aisle,
mhm,
where a guy will be in a situation, maybe even in a relationship with a
mhm.
girl who's very attractive, and that's why he's there.
Yeah, oh, 100%, babe. Yeah, 100%.
And it seems it's only when we acclimatize that we
Mhm.
then get to see who the person actually is.
Yeah,
The same thing is when women are with a man because of the lifestyle he can provide,
yeah.
because they get blinded by, like you said, what he can do for her.
Yeah.
Oh, he's providing me with this bag. I could go
Mm.
on these trips. I do this. And then when you
And I said,
acclimatize, as we always
sorry
do,
to cut you there, yeah.
yeah, go for it.
I know, like, because I'm a little bit older than you, and maybe some of the girls or females that you work with might be like over 10 years younger than me. So there might be a bit of differences there. But in my personal situation, it wasn't even that he was doing anything lavish for me. When
No,
I
no.
say what I was getting in the relationship, it was more about my emotional needs getting met.
But that's what I mean, though.
Yeah,
I'm not even saying that he was doing anything lavish,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
when somebody is giving us what we want
Yeah, what? Yeah.
to in the abundance that we
Mhm.
feel we don't get anywhere else,
Yeah.
it's actually a really good cloak
Mhm.
for who they are.
Mhm.
And so it's interesting because one of the questions in the chat, which I think is valid to ask, did his treatment towards you change? Like,
No.
did he still make you, was he still giving you what he'd been giving you from day one? But now you just found out a part of his life that you just had no idea about.
Um. Yeah. Not nothing really had changed. But I believe that when one of the other girls came on the scene, he did start to back off a little bit from me. And I think that
Mm,
was because when I got to know this girl, because it's so funny, because one of my other friends was a cousin to this girl, and she was a singer, stunning, beautiful girl. I realized that they were friends on Twitter at the time. It's not Twitter now, X, whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
And because of these other two girls, I had now started to keep up on what he was doing and who he was talking to and all that kind of stuff.
That feels like a lot of mental energy
Oh my
to
gosh, it's
stay
like
in
a
that.
full-time job, babe. Honestly, bearing in mind I've got 2 kids, I'm working, I'm studying at uni. Like, it was a lot. I had a
Can I
lot going on.
can I ask you a very real question?
Go on.
Because how old are you at the time?
Oh, 23 or 4.
23. Do you think at that time, because you said you got a lot of sexual attention, which is probably the case, but a guy's not
Probably.
sticking around, yeah, right? But
Yeah.
guys weren't really sticking around,
Mm-hmm. Well,
and
they were, but yeah, go on.
well, were they? Were the guys that you were wanting? Were they wanting a relationship with you?
A couple of them, but like I said, most of the attention would be because of my outward look. So no, you're
That's what I
looking
mean.
at me on a sexual basis, yeah. So go
Yeah,
on. Mm,
and then in comes this guy
mm,
who not only gives you a level of validation and attention, an
mm-hmm,
emotional need that you want, but
mm,
also, and I'm just gonna be very real with you
mm,
here, he's willing to accept you and your 2 children.
mm-hmm,
So now it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've got this guy, because yeah, getting sex is easy for a woman, especially if
mm,
you're attractive. If you're young and attractive, that's easy.
mm,
But getting commitment is hard enough nowadays, especially if you have kids.
mm-hmm.
That can
Yeah,
be very difficult for a lot of men,
yeah. Mm-hmm,
especially if it's like kids plural, right?
mm-hmm,
And in comes this man who says, I'm gonna be that for you. So I
mm,
think when you look at it that way, and maybe even subconsciously, I suspect, if I was being honest, if you were in a situation, let's say you didn't have kids at that point yet, and you knew that you were getting commitment or offers of relationships from other men, I don't think you would have stayed in it. I don't think you would have stayed in it for as long.
I agree with you. I agree with you to a point. So one thing I didn't say at the beginning is that I do a podcast, right? And it's called
Mm.
When the Kids Go to Bed. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about is about this. Like, men will hunt single mums. Like, they will hunt them because they're
To be in a
vulnerable.
relationship?
No, listen, they'll hunt them because they're restricted with time. Yeah, they can only go out at certain days or every other weekend, for example, when they
Mm.
haven't got their children. Most women with their head screwed on won't invite every Tom, Dick, and Harry into their home.
Of
So
course.
there again, so a single mum is vulnerable prey to a predator type of man. Yeah, not
R
every man, not
Sure. No,
every man.
I get that. When you say vulnerable to what? What is it that
To
he's
be used, I mean, to be bamboozled with valid, like, offers of validation, and I'll be there, and the bullshit, but you're not really on that.
so it's what you're saying is that for single, it's easier to sell a single mother a dream because maybe it's harder for her to get the relationship that she wants?
Not necessarily that it's easier for her to be sold a dream, but if she is vulnerable, if she is emotionally not clued up, she hasn't healed maybe from the baby daddy or ex-husband situation, um then she's vulnerable. It's not that she's more vulnerable than any other emotionally vulnerable woman,
Mm.
but it's that she's more restricted with time. She can't be as frivolous and spontaneous as another woman might be able to, who hasn't got any children. I don't want
Mm.
to veer too much off the point, but what I was going to say was I agree with you to a point that um I was getting other offers from men, not any different to him or how he presented in the beginning, but I just I didn't click with them. I didn't gel with them.
Okay.
But I see your point in that.
Why do you think you stayed?
I stayed. It's all because of me.
Yeah.
It's all down to me. It's nothing to do with what he said and done. Like, once I confronted him, like, he didn't do anything spectacular or anything out of the ordinary. It was all me, and that hence why I said I felt very numb at that point.
Mm,
And when I say numb, I mean I wasn't making any decisions. I wasn't doing any actions. I wasn't protecting myself. I wasn't advocating for myself. I wasn't in a position to um express myself with confidence, because my confidence had been knocked. I was shocked. I realized that I had a lot of work to do
mm,
from previous relationships. I was in a domestic violent relationship. So not only did he cheat, it was toxic, like badly toxic. So I had a lot of work to do. But not only that, also childhood trauma, like how I came up being not having my dad around and all that as well. And I was heavily relied on by my family as
mm,
well, plus studying, plus working, plus looking after children. I was just in autopilot mode. I had a lot going on. So I was
mm.
lost. I was bottom of the pile. So in this situation with him, it was like it was the only thing I had in my life at that point that
That
was
was
just for
good.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That
get
was
that.
just for me. That was just for Tamsin. That wasn't a mum hat or a studying hat or looking after my mum or checking my brother's okay or whatever else. It was
Yeah.
the one thing I had that was just for me. I was very limited in time to spend time with my girlfriends and do things during the day or early evening. So it was like late evening time. Once everything's done, the kids are in bed, right? I can go now.
Mm,
I can go and get a little bit something for me. And the relationship was heavily sexual. Like, sex was like number 2 on the list for me.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even though I was getting some emotional needs met on some level, I was also just getting that little bit for me. So for me to leave that relationship and make an active decision to look after myself, I'm already at the bottom of my pile everywhere else. So
It was like you leaving the relationship, you almost felt was putting you back there in that element of your life. And that was like the one part of your life that you felt
also as
wasn't
well, I
at the
didn't really
bottom.
have much to give in terms of, if I leave this relationship, that's another heartbreak. Now I'm going to have to sit with 2 heartbreaks, 2 sets of trauma. I don't even have time for it. I'm scared to deal with it. And I'm just like,
So
literally
let me ask you a
numb.
question. Of
Gone.
course.
Mm.
How would you handle that differently now?
Oh, that you wouldn't even get a chance. You would not get a chance.
She's like, if I see that buzzing phone, I'm gone. It's like, babe, where you going? Your phone was vibrating, bro. That's why.
Oh,
How would you handle it
I
differently?
feel like I have so in my relationship, I have gone through stages of like hypervigilance because of everything I've been through.
Yeah, I
And
can
one
imagine.
thing I advocate for heavily is therapy. Um I tell anyone around me, and I'm actually doing a coaching course because, like, I'm the agony aunt to everybody and it's very draining and everything. So I've learned how to, like, put boundaries in place, look after myself, not busy up myself, and not give myself a chance to rest.
Mm,
But the hypervigilance of when you go through a lot of stress and trauma like that and don't really get the chance to deal with it properly and effectively, therapy, oh my gosh, has been my savior. Like, honestly, it's been the best thing for me. And just having mentors like females that are doing well in their life, they're strong and they're honest, and you know they got some sense in their head is important. So
yeah.
if I was to ever face a situation now where I'm questioning um you know uh betrayal or hurt and pain, in my relationship now. I don't really have those issues because I'm a lot stronger and I communicate and I advocate for myself. And
So you would
so
just raise
if
it with him.
yeah, I'll just raise it with him. You make a decision. We make a decision here. What's best for you? What's best for me? What's best for us?
Great.
Um,
And now you're with a man anyway.
yeah, man. Like I said, I never had no issues, darling. Never had.
She never has no
I'm joking.
issues.
I'm joking. I'm
No,
joking.
I hear that. I hear that. Well, listen,
I'm
Tamsin,
joking.
I'm gonna let you go. We've got one more guest coming on.
Yep.
But I want to appreciate you for sharing your story with us. I think a couple of things we can definitely take from that is just how us meaning well but not being in the best state of mind can
Yeah.
actually further put us down the rabbit hole.
Massively. Massively.
And it almost, when they say sometimes it takes things to get worse for it to get better.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
me.
I feel this was definitely one of those situations. But I appreciate you for your honesty and being open. I'm gonna let you go, but
Thanks
thank you
for
for
having
coming
me.
in. No, we appreciate you. All right, see
Take
ya.
care, guys.
Bye. Wow, that was intense. It's interesting when we have reflections of those down moments in our lives and we think about the people we were choosing to invest in, it's it makes it harder to, even though maybe they did us wrong, we also sometimes have to accept that we provided the environment for them to do that. And that's not us being accountable for their actions, but it's also about us being responsible for the boundaries that we didn't set. And I think that happens a lot in dating today, where people can be toxic and do bad things, but ultimately, something I've always been told growing up is that people treat you how you allow them to treat you. And so if somebody's treating you badly, if they do badly once on you, shame on them. But if they do badly twice, three, four times, that's shame on us. Because if they're doing it multiple times, that means we're providing the environment and facilitating that avenue because we haven't set that boundary. And sometimes we don't set that boundary because we have a vision of a perception of ourselves in terms of being a certain value, or we're not as high value as we think. Sometimes if that's the only good thing that we feel we have, even if it's not perfect, it's like, this is the only good thing I've got, and I'll hold on to this. But enough about me rambling. I want to get on second guest coming on. We've got a second guest coming on right now. I'm going to add it to the stage. And let's see what she's got to say, people. Isla,
Hey, good
how are
evening.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Is Isla how I pronounce your name?
Yeah, it's Isla.
Perfect. Isla, whereabouts are you? How old are you? Whereabouts are you in the world?
So I'm 26. I'm from London. I'm from East London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in East are you? I'm in East.
Around Hackney.
Okay, nice. I'm in Ilford. Big up Redbridge.
Oh,
Redbridge
nice.
Council. Yeah, we love it. We love it.
Big up Hackney.
So you said, I remember before coming on, you were like, you've got a couple of things about guys you want to talk about, you want to ask and be like, why do guys do certain things or a certain situation? What would you like to ask today?
Just like, why do guys not know how to speak to women? Like, it's like they've lost the ability to generally, like, they don't have, it's like I'm not saying all guys, but like, it just seems like most guys do not have game anymore. Like, it's just crazy. Like, this is just one example. So I was on a dating app called Raya, and it's for people in the industry. And I matched with this guy who's actually a footballer, and we exchanged a few messages, and it was just like, hello, like, how are you, kind of thing. And I think it was like the third message, he was like, you have two options. It's either we go to your house or you book a hotel. And I had to look at my phone. I was like, what? I was like, is this guy okay? Like, two options, like, bro. But I was just shocked. Like, and that's just like one example, to be honest.
So you said that's a guy not having game. Do you think he was really trying to have game with you?
No, obviously not.
Okay. So I'd
But it
say
was just shocking. I was just shocked. Like, fair enough, but I was just shocked because I really feel like most guys have lost the ability to like speak to a woman, because I feel like obviously everything's virtual nowadays, and that's the thing. I feel like there's been like, I don't know, yeah.
So when you say
confidence thing.
Yeah, when you say guys have lost it, what are you comparing them to?
Well, like, I don't know, like can't really think of an example, but it's just
Because
like,
you have a vision of how guys should talk to women, and then you've got the reality.
yeah, like
So
know how to
where is this
approach a
vision coming
lady.
from?
Like
Where's
know
this
how
vision
to
coming from?
approach a
Though?
lady. Like yeah, like back in the day it was like, oh babes, what's your BB pin? You're looking pretty today. Now it's you've got two options, like what we doing? Like it's crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing, let's address that footballer first. The first thing, obviously, that's not him actually trying to have a game. That's just him trying to get to the point.
Yeah, fair enough. So, yeah, I hear it.
And the reality is, a lot of the time when guys do that level of approach, the reason they do that is because it's worked before. Because just to come out the gate and be like, hey, listen, either we're at yours or you book a hotel. If he had done that and it had never worked, he would not do that.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Because the irony is women teach men how to get women by showing us what works and what doesn't work.
But it's
So
a
if
type of
he's-
woman, yeah.
Yeah, sure, there's a type of woman, but also we have to take into account that he's a footballer. And so I'm sure many women would have been like, oh my gosh, he's a footballer. I want to try and get him. And there
No,
would
I
have been
hear it.
girls that would have been like, yeah, sure, anything to be in your presence.
Literally, no, I hear it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just shocked, and I was like, wow, like, is that what we're doing nowadays? Like,
So did you book the hotel or did you come to yours?
hell no.
I'm joking.
Hell no. Oh my goodness. No. No, straight. That was a straight no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're on, there'll be guys who have been trying to actually talk to you though properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And how is it with those guys when they try and talk to you?
I mean, I would say my love life is kind of non-existent. My dad asked me the other day, he was like, you're a very pretty young lady with like a good brain on you and like aspirations. Why haven't you got a boyfriend? I was like, it's a very good question, Dad, but
Why do you think?
I don't know.
When was the last time you had a
Maybe
boyfriend?
my standards are way too, I don't know.
Do you think your standards are too high?
I mean,
Let's run me through the list. Most girls have a list, right?
okay,
Run me through the list.
in detail.
Yeah, just be like, I want a guy who's like this, whatever that list is for you.
I have to be over 6 foot. Oh yeah, I'm tall. I don't want to be, you know, like towering over my man.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
So if he's 5'10", is that not okay?
No, because in heels I'm still going to be taller than him.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
it doesn't run. But yeah, anyway, so
Finish the list.
6 foot. Interesting fact, I've actually never dated a white boy.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is that because you like the brothers or you just like non-white?
No, it's not. I haven't got anything against white guys, but I don't feel like I just don't attract. I don't know. I don't attract white guys. And,
so it's over 6 foot, melanin blessed.
What else? Very driven. You have to have big ambitions because I'm very ambitious. Okay. And I feel like if you're coming into my life, you have to complement me and obviously my life. It kind of has to be like a puzzle piece. What else? Obviously, good job. But the thing is, I'm not shallow. Like, I'm not that. I don't care. Like, I don't care if you're not dripped out like Gucci head to toe. Like, it doesn't bother me. Because, like, yeah, it just doesn't.
Do you think having a height restriction is shallow?
Maybe a bit.
Maybe
but
a tad?
I don't know. But everyone has like, you know, preferences, right?
Okay. So
maybe because I've never been with a short guy. Like my previous like ex was like 6'2", I think. Yeah, 6'2". So I've never been with like a short guy.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
Relationship is that what we're going to call it? So
was it a relationship? What was your last exclusive?
It was a situationship.
That doesn't count. When was your last relationship?
Really? You want to? 2015 maybe. Yeah, years ago.
9 years ago. So when you were what, 17?
Yeah, but that's because I was then in a long-term situationship with somebody. So I met them when I was 18, and then we kind of, whatever, like separate ways at like 20. how old am I now? 24, about 24ish, I think,
Okay.
around that age. But yeah,
So
that was
the one at 17 was a serious relationship, or was that a situationship?
it was a relationship, but it was like just under a year.
Okay, but you were exclusive to each other.
Yeah, exclusive to each other.
Okay, that's a relationship. And so since then, you've not had one since.
Not a proper relationship. I mean, like, yeah, the situationship was 7 years.
The situationship was 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Isla, that's why? What happened?
No, because hear me out. So obviously it was like, okay, so obviously there was a honeymoon period, everything was nice when we was like younger, right?
Yeah.
And as time went on, cracks started to show. But because I don't know, I didn't really see it. I suppose when you're out of it, you see what was wrong, right? And then obviously I was young, naive, whatever, and I was head over heels for this guy. He had a good job, you know. We met when we was like young, so I was head over heels. And it was just like, yeah, just things that he said, things he said like about no labels and stuff. And then I just had confidence and trust that it was like a proper relationship, you know.
Why did you not clarify whether it's a relationship?
I mean, we're exclusive, but yeah, it was, yeah.
Did he say that he was
like
exclusive to you?
the person never actually once asked me, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Sure,
No,
but
it didn't happen.
At the same time, was he exclusive to you?
No.
Did he say that he was exclusive to you?
Yeah.
For the whole 7 years?
Made it pretty clear, yeah.
So what's okay?
But it came out. It's obviously things started to happen, and yeah, it turns out that it was a whole.
So the reason I'm asking is because the jump for a guy, right? And we've got a few fellas in the chat, so they can either vouch for this or disavow this. For a guy, the jump between being exclusive to putting a label on it is actually very small. But the jump from not being exclusive to being exclusive is quite big. So like, if a guy's going to be exclusive with you, but he's saying no labels, to my male mind, that doesn't make sense. The only reason he would say no labels is because he doesn't want to be exclusive to you.
Fair enough.
So,
no, or imagine that. Yeah, I'm not
sense?
going to make excuses because but like I suppose we had an understanding, right? Like this
What
is me
was the
being completely
understanding?
honest. Like
Yeah,
this,
it was.
we had an understanding. It worked. The dynamic worked. It wasn't too intense. It was quite, you know. But then obviously as time grew on, I wanted more. But then, like it kept like it got year and year went by, and I was like, so like, what's going on? Like,
So when you say you wanted more, what did you want that you weren't getting from him?
I wanted a relationship. I wanted not kids per se, but I wanted like the serious stuff. And I kept getting told it's gonna like just like wait, and then 7 years went by, and I'm still
you're still
do you know
waiting.
what I mean?
So when you say you wanted the serious stuff, did you want a different in his treatment towards you, or did you want him to be exclusive to you? Because those two different
just like
things.
the respect of, you know, you're my girlfriend. Like I think it takes.
So how he was treating you, you were happy with?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not
what
really.
I mean is like.
Not really, no.
Okay, what I mean is this: if he was like, "Okay, babe, I'm gonna treat you exactly, everything's gonna stay the same, but just know that I'm not sleeping with anyone else, and I'm not interested."
No.
Would that have satisfied you?
Definitely not. No.
Oh, okay. So it was actually something that he wasn't giving you. What was it?
What wasn't it? What was it? What was it? The time, like always like running to rush off.
I have a question. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Were you going on dates
with other people?
No, with each other. Were you going on dates, or was it more just him coming over, you coming over?
Went on holidays. Went on a few holidays. Didn't really go on dates. So the dates happened in the beginning.
Of course.
Whereas as it went on, it just became like, if I'm real, it started becoming quite toxic. and obviously the cracks started showing, and like so yeah, it wasn't really a thing where we go on dates. It was a thing where like that person would come round, we'd have sex,
And then he'd leave.
and
He'd make an excuse to leave.
basically yeah.
Okay.
Thinking
What do you
about it
think?
now, obviously it's kind of mentally messed me up, if I'm real,
Yeah, of
because
course.
but there's a lot of stuff that went on as well, like but anyway, I'll get into that.
Yeah, of course, because you're pouring what you want for a relationship into this guy, and he's not giving that to you.
No, but he's saying it. That's the thing. He's saying things like, "Oh, you're mine. Don't worry about no one else. No one else matters." And, "Oh, do you know what I mean? You're the only one." And, "Oh, none of all them other girls, they don't matter, babe." Like those kind of things, you know. And it's like gaslight. It's actually gaslighting now. I've come to realize it's like.
I think it's definitely lying.
Lying, yeah, as well.
It's definitely lying if he's saying one thing and doing something else. But if you are in the after hours zone, you know, one thing I always say is that a guy's investment is not his sexual time with you, it's his non-sexual time.
Of course.
And so what happened was he gave you non-sexual time in the beginning to get you to a point where you were a sexual option for him. And then because he was getting what he wants, you were like, hey, I want a relationship, I want exclusivity, and you were right to do that. But what I think didn't serve you is that when he didn't give you those things, you still continued to invest how you had been the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
then,
own it. I say it. I'm not gonna lie and say I own it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I turned down I'm not even saying that but I probably could have been married with kids by now. Literally, I had people
I mean,
on me.
yeah.
And it's interesting when you're in something, people want you more. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a known fact. But
So when did that relationship end or situationship end?
Fucking hell. It was really bad how it ended. I would say September the year before last.
Okay, so you've been single for 18 months now.
But as I said, it wasn't it like so much stuff happened in that, whatever you want to call it, that it was just like it got to the point where it was just like so toxic. Like there was obviously like people cheat, right? I never cheated. Hands down, I never cheated. Like that wasn't me. I'm so loyal. Like if I fuck with you, I fuck with you, and that I'm just fucking with you kind of thing. So yeah, obviously people cheat. Like things happened, found out stuff, and just more stuff started to come out, and kind of like Tamsin as well. Obviously you start investigating, and we're not idiots. I mean, that was kind of an idiotic move what I did, but like you know when stuff's going on, you know.
Sure. And you know, we learn from our experiences.
100%.
You know, that's what
I've learned a hell of a lot from this. Like it's really shaped me to who I am now, which is like I feel like I've matured 100%.
That's
like,
great.
I can see a red flag from fucking hundreds, like literally miles away. Like I can see it now. So
yeah, well, you've been single for the past year and a half.
Yeah.
And in that time, I mean, you could have, I'm sure, you know, you're a young, attractive woman, you probably could have gotten a boyfriend. So where do you think it's kind of going awry?
Ask the guys.
Well, you tell me. Well, what happens? What's the typical scenario?
Okay, so the typical situation: you start talking to someone. I want to meet. I'm a very in-person person. I don't really like all this phone call, texting back and forth bullshit. I'll be real. So then we'll be texting for a week, and then 2 weeks will go by, and it's like, oh, okay. So like, but I don't really want to initiate it, because it should, obviously, I know there's like different, like we're in 2024 now where it's all different, like women are proposing and stuff, but that's an extreme. But like I shouldn't be the one to initiate it, I don't think, you know.
When you say initiate, as in like, you're like, hey, why don't we grab a coffee this weekend?
Yeah, like I don't know, I feel like the guy, because I feel like if a guy really wants you, he will pursue.
So here's the thing, I understand
he'll hunt you down. Yeah,
but how does he know that he wants you if he doesn't know you? He doesn't know you.
Good question. Like, but then he should ask to meet. He should be like, hey, let's go out. let's
I'm
meet
not
up.
saying a guy can't do that, but what I'm asking is why can't you do that?
No, I can do it, and
Well,
I've done
okay,
it. But as I said, like, yeah.
Okay, because you just seemed like you were like, I'm not gonna ask a
No,
guy.
no. It's not categorically no, but I feel like I kind of, yeah, I've kind of in that mindset where I feel like, yeah, because, like, for instance, whenever like that person, it was always me initiating. It was like, oh, let's go out, let's do stuff, let's go on. Do you know what I mean? And it's just come, like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you would have been initiating all the emotional time, but he probably would have been initiating the sexual time. Right? Yeah.
It was
So anyway,
it was like Tamsin said, it was first on the list.
yeah,
First on the
yeah.
list.
So you talk to a guy, you talk to him for a couple of weeks, and then he doesn't
Nothing
ask to
happens.
meet you. That can't be every guy, though.
No, not every guy.
Okay, so what about the
but
guys that do ask you out?
I don't know. It's strange. I don't know. It's because I've been on dating websites. I've been on all these apps. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just too picky. I don't know. Like.
So tell me about a guy that you did go on a date on. What happened with that? Tell me about the last guy.
Oh God, the last date I went on. Oh my gosh, that was like. When was it? The last proper date I went on was in August, around carnival times.
Okay, and why didn't things work out? What happened with that?
I don't know. He just wasn't my. If I'm being completely honest, he just wasn't my type. He wasn't. It's gonna sound so bad. But
Say how it is, girl.
I like a man. Like, I need you to handle me.
He wasn't masculine.
I need you to handle me. Like, yeah.
What does that mean? Like, take care of you, or?
Yeah, like, no, like, I don't really like what's the word? This is gonna sound so bad, but I think it's because the way I was treated in the previous relation, whatever you want to call it. I think when anyone's nice now, it's like, oh shit, like, is this the right thing? And that's me being honest. That's me being honest, because I'm so used to being treated so badly.
Okay, so
it's like, yeah.
So the guy,
it's kind
the guy
of
who treated
scares
you
me.
well, it felt wrong to you because you're used to being
if I'm
treated
honest,
nicely.
yeah, it kind of felt a bit like foreign. And I don't know, like, nice. I don't know if like gentle. I don't know, because I'm so, yeah. I don't know.
It sounded that he was being very considerate, and you weren't used to that.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Has this happened a lot with guys that you've been on dates before where they treat
It's
you?
either I attract. I'm gonna keep it real. It's either I attract a very, very nice, like, too sweet, genuine guy, or fucking roadman. Literally. There's
and
no,
what
like,
is it?
there's
What
no
is?
like there's no, like, in between. I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So with the nice guys, how many nice guys got to the point where you started being intimate?
Oh, none.
Okay.
No, none.
How many of them got to the point where you went on a second or third date with them?
None.
Isla, that's why. That's why. What's happening is because you're used to something. I understand, and if you don't mind me saying, I think there's a bit of, if you're in a toxic situation, I think there's a bit of healing that needs to be done. Because generally, and I'm saying this, I've had to heal myself with experiences before, but I'm saying this, anytime somebody gives us healthy treatment and we reject that, that's not a problem with them, that's a problem with us. Do you see what I'm saying? And you could have missed out on some really great relationships just because the initial didn't feel that familiar for what you're used to chemistry being. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and to be honest, my mum did. No, obviously, I'm not like making it stupid, but my mum did say that person was, like, kind of feminine.
Sure.
Like, that person was a bit too fit. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's fine. Sometimes a guy is just, sometimes he is just feminine, but I think not every guy is that. And I think not every good treatment is necessarily feminine. I want to ask you something else before that. I just want to go through some of these comments. Some people just asking some stuff in the chat. Welcome everybody listening, by the way. Thank you for joining us today on this Sunday night. We appreciate you. We want to appreciate our guests, Isla and before Tamsin, for being open and vulnerable. We appreciate it because these conversations help us learn a lot and help us reflect. So where should we start from? Let's start here. Let's start with so SL asks, we're just gonna go through some of these questions and I'm gonna pick a random few. SL asks, what red flags do you think you possess in yourself?
Oh, that's a good question. What do you mean by that? What do you mean, like what? So what is in what I have red flags?
Yeah. So is there anything that maybe you would portray on a date that you think a guy would be like, oh, maybe that's a red flag?
I don't know. Not sure.
No.
Not sure.
And so rejecting good treatment is an amber to / red flag.
No,
I'll say that for guys as well.
And the thing, actually, no. One is that I get very like emotionally attached quite quickly, and I think that's quite bad because I do. I get quite emotionally attached quickly.
Okay. It's probably after sex though, no? Probably not on the first or second date.
yeah, after sex, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's see what other. We had some more questions in the chat. Oh, some guy asked about 5'8". Okay, would you? I can't find a question, but I think I know what it meant. If you met a guy who was amazing in every way, but he was 5'9", would you give up heels for him?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, that's good. We're making progress. That's
no, I would because it's actually interesting someone's asking this because I was thinking about this the other day and I was like, even my dad was like, it's so shallow. But the thing is, I'm not a shallow person. So, and I was thinking about it, I was like, height, like if imagine if they're amazing in every other way, but it's just the height. Like, am I really going to turn it down? And I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think that's not the issue. Because it's very easy to compromise on the height where you know everything else is in check.
Okay.
The issue is not giving an opportunity because of height, which doesn't mean anything for a good relationship. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't like what you like. But if you're finding that how you're filtering isn't bringing the kind of guys that you want, then we have to change how we're filtering, right?
Yeah, of
it's
course.
Interesting. I always separate people, but let's talk about guys, into two categories in terms of you've got the caliber of a guy and the quality of a guy. Caliber is like height, status, masculine, etc. Quality is integral, good intentions. Does he treat you well? Does he invest in you properly? Does he show up for you in the way that he needs to? And I think what you're finding is that some guys who might be high in quality may not be the caliber that you want.
Got it.
And the guys that are high in caliber aren't the high quality that you want.
Got it.
Now, if you're looking for something casual, the high caliber is your guy. For sure. Because you're not looking for anything serious. But if you're looking for a serious relationship, the quality has to be above the caliber. I'm not saying that you should accept a guy who's low down here in caliber, but you should be looking for, does he treat me well? Is he intentional? Because your attraction can grow to him. Have you never had it where like there was a guy that you knew that you weren't initially attracted to, but then because you got to know who he was, you grew attraction? Has that never happened for you?
Has that happened? Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, it has. It has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that now?
No, I can. I'm not saying I can't.
Oh, okay. Have you?
No.
What other questions?
But the thing is, yeah, it is strange because I'm a very open-minded person, but then when it comes to like, yeah, I don't know.
You said earlier you felt that maybe you're too picky. Why do you say that?
Yeah, because like as you said, people like can be, obviously if they have good qualities, and it kind of overwrites like, I don't know, height or fucking how many tattoos they've got. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
that kind of thing. And I feel like I do feel like, as I'm like, I don't know, it's interesting being on these dating websites, because there's a whole bunch of like different types of guys, and it's kind of like it is a full-time job. As Tamsin was saying, it's a full-time job. Dating is a full-time job.
Yeah, it definitely can be. I think
It
if
is.
you're on the apps, especially for women, there's such a level of abundance you guys have to like shift through and filter through. That is a full-time job
Mm,
for sure. One guy asked,
so many comments.
Mirad asked, have you been sexually active since August?
Have I? I
Yeah.
have, yeah.
Okay. With a friends with benefits, guy you're dating, a guy you
Mm,
did date and then it just didn't work out.
casual.
It was casual. Is that guy still around?
No.
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 Is anyone
Didn't do it
around?
for me. Sorry, hun.
He didn't do it for you. You let him go.
Didn't do it for me. You have to. I know that's another thing. Sorry, can't really say it on here, innit?
Yeah, you can.
I'm a very like what's the word? I have quite a high sex drive. So if you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, then you can't run. Sorry, I'm a Scorpio as well, so I think that also has. I genuinely think that has a very part to play. 100%.
Okay, I respect your belief. I don't really believe in star signs, but I respect you having, if you have a high sex drive and stuff.
Yeah.
But guys want to have sex. That's fine. Do you think the nice guy wouldn't be having as much sex with you as you would want?
I don't know. Depends. If you match my energy.
When was the last time you went on a second date with a guy that you didn't feel the sparks with?
I haven't been on a date. That's the thing. I have not been on dates. August, and then no.
But you said
no
you've had sex since then, no?
Oh yeah.
Was that not a date? It was just. Did he just text you? It's the hotel on yours.
No.
This time you booked the hotel.
No. I went bowling with somebody.
That's the date.
Yeah, that was cool, but yeah, they were too young.
Too young.
Not that young, of course not, but they were just too young, and too like. I know age doesn't define maturity, because I've spoken to some 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds, that are more mature than some 30-year-olds. So it completely varies from person to person.
Yeah. I don't think that I think you say you want a relationship, but I don't think you want it that much. And here's why.
Okay.
You're 26, right? So you're still relatively young. Half of the women that I work with are like older. Like the women I work with, they're anywhere between the age of 25 to 45.
Oh, okay.
When women are at the point they're ready for a husband, like a real relationship, the whole 6-foot thing goes out the window. And maybe it's because they're older, so maybe this is just like an experience thing. But it's because they realize that has nothing to do whether that relationship's going to be happy. Now, I get those things contribute to him being attractive to you, 100%. But I think this is where, when we've done the healing, somebody treating us right is very attractive when we're in a healthy space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And so I think if you in a point where having a relationship was a level of priority in your life, I think you would, because you are aware of it. Do you know what I mean? It's not that you're not aware of it, which is really good, and that's the first step. But I think maybe it's just not a priority for you, which is okay. What do you think?
I disagree, because I've been saying like I do want to settle down and have kids and stuff, because I've always said that I would be like a relatively young mum. Obviously didn't happen, but yeah, I disagree. Like I just haven't found my person, and obviously like because I haven't had that good treat, like that very, as you said, like the good qualities, like the looks. I've been like sex god, but the personality and the way you treat me, zero. the scale of toxicity beyond the like blows the roof off. So yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you're saying.
Do you think that you don't attract good men? Or do you think you're just not choosing them?
I think I'm just not choosing them. If I'm being honest, yeah, I think I'm just not choosing them.
Okay, honesty is good.
Yeah. I'm just not choosing them. Yeah. Like,
What do you think? What do you think it's going to take for you to start choosing them?
As I said, like I've been speaking to some, and even if they're nice, like they can, like I have been speaking to some, and they're not. Some of them haven't been like what I was saying before, but it just doesn't go into anything. Like I was speaking to I was speaking to someone about this the other day. Like you can speak to someone, and then it just doesn't form into anything.
As in, because they don't ask you out.
I'm sure a lot of girls can relate. That like you're speaking to a guy maybe for a few weeks, maybe you don't meet up yet, or you're FaceTiming or whatever, but then you just don't meet up. Like it's just strange. It's almost like they're scared. I don't know if it's like, because everything's like virtual now. Like we live in such a virtual world that the art of like meeting someone, I feel like, is gone. Like if I'm genuinely honest, like and I know I've spoken to a lot of my friends, and they said the dating world is kalas. Like the dating world is fucked.
What do you think is the biggest struggle women have in regards to the dating world right now?
Like what, in terms of meeting a guy? Finding someone that, because there's so many options as well, right? So but it's vice obviously for women as well. I think finding someone that is like genuine and like, yeah, I don't know, yeah, genuine, and like there's no facade. I feel like this is not all guys, I'm not generalizing at all,
of course,
but I feel like there's a certain facade that guys think they need to put on to impress a woman.
I think you're right. I wouldn't even disagree with you there.
Like a massive facade, and that's where I think I feel like some guys are going wrong, because like, yeah, it's like a mask.
Sure,
I don't know, obviously very like massive spectrum, but I'm a real person. I'll say it how it is. Like,
I believe you. You have been, yeah, and we love that. So for sure,
like there's no facade here ever. So that's what I mean. Is like I feel like some guys, they put on like a facade, like to really go above and beyond to try and impress a woman, where sometimes it's just too much. Like you're doing too much.
Do you think?
I don't like overly keenness either. Sorry, I'm putting it out there. I don't like it. Like, how many texts are you going to send me a day? Like, what did you have for dinner? What are you doing that? Like, relax, take time.
So I get that. I just have to make you aware though. On one hand, you're like, the guys that you have chosen, a lot of guys you've chosen before, they don't give you that level of investment. But then you have the guys who do give you that level of investment, and you're like, nah, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
So if a guy, let me ask you this, knowing who you are now,
yeah,
if you were a guy, how would you approach you?
If I was a guy, how would I approach me?
Yeah. You're 5'10". You're not 6'2". You're a good shape.
What,
decently attractive. But
are we talking like on the phone? Are we talking like in person? Like what?
Well, you meet most guys through dating apps, right?
Yeah. I'll just be like I'll just like a few conversations, and then like what do you want to do? Like what, like where do you want to go? Do you want to go bowling? Do you want to go to dinner? Do you want to go theatre? Like,
so you would ask yourself that?
No, not myself. What? Sorry, what? I'm confused.
As in, if you were the guy, you would ask you, what do you want to do?
So I'm being a guy, but I'm speaking to a woman.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like the woman is you, right?
Oh,
so
right.
I'm saying you're a guy, and you're approaching a woman basically who's exactly like you.
Yeah. Like, well, like what we doing? I'm not a virtual person. Like, let's meet up. Let's go out. Let's get to know each other, like non-virtually. Like, wow.
That happens though.
Yeah, but not a lot. I'll be real, not a lot. And a lot of people can relate to it as well. I know it for a fact. I've been speaking to a few people, and they say the same thing. Like, it just doesn't leave the group chat, 2 people group chat. But yeah, like it just doesn't go anywhere. just stays virtual, like FaceTime. Where's the initiative? Where's like, where are we going? And I get it that obviously we can do it as well as women, but like, yeah, it's nice to, yeah, I don't know.
I hear you. I have a couple of things to ask you, but I want to go through some of these comments. Hey, Tanisha Talks, big up in the house. Hey, Sade. I want to go through some of these comments, some of them that just stand out. There it is. DL said, there it is, too many choices. L Smith, too many choices make you picky. Then you see people in real life, they don't meet these fake personas. Get off the apps and get outdoors. Simple.
I'm always out.
That's worth saying. Mirad Semra, so no date since August. A man that probably showed the qualities but not the caliber she wanted, but sexually active with what type of guy? That's a good question. So you haven't had a date since August, but you've had sex with a guy. What was this guy? What category did he fall into?
What category?
Yeah, was he like physically or looks wise? You're like, that's my guy.
No, he actually wasn't. You know what attracted me to him is the talkativeness, the way he could hold a conversation.
Okay.
We could just talk for like hours about a lot of things, and it wouldn't even be like, and there wouldn't be any awkwardness. And that's also something that you need to know how to have a conversation. Like,
I agree. That sounds really good. So what happened with this guy?
It just, I don't know. I can't even remember when. Yeah, what was it like?
Did you end it or did he end it?
I think it was kind of mutual. We just wasn't feeling each other. Yeah, it just didn't really. Just wasn't feeling each other.
I hear that. Yeah. When the kids go to bed says, when a woman leads with sex, men follow that lead and take over taking the lead. Interesting. Do you feel like, so you said you have quite a high sex drive and stuff. Do you feel like you've led with sex?
Me? Has led with, so what, me initiate?
Not necessarily you initiate, but you've prioritized spending like sexual time over like just getting to know the guy.
No.
Okay, fair. She says
but it's very important, yeah, very important.
Yeah. I hear that. Is her person 6 foot only? Would you date a guy your height or smaller? I don't think she would. She said that she wouldn't do that.
No, but I'm becoming more. I am becoming more thing, and as time goes on, I do think it comes also with like a maturity. Like, I think when you're young, you have this like view on a guy, your perfect guy, like, your action man, and then when life kind of, when you grow up, whatever, you see that, you start seeing as you said, like the qualities in someone opposed to their height, their foot size, like, yeah.
No, I hear that. Let me do a couple
like
more.
My friend, for instance, my friend on Hinge, it was kind of, it wasn't really banter, but she basically put like what you have to have, like literally what you have to have.
Any woman who watches this, I'm looking at you. Any woman who watches this, do not put your list on a dating app. Do not do it.
No.
Because one, that's only going to filter out the good guys, because the good guys are going to look at that and be like, this woman is entitled. I'm not going to try and impress her. The second thing is the guys who meet that qualification just looking for fun, that's who it's going to attract.
Yeah, it's true. But it was quite hilarious. Like, the list was, so precise. It was crazy.
Did she get any, did you find her, man?
No.
Well, there you go. Next thing, Sade. What's up, Sade? Girl, I know her personally. She says, honestly, realizing the role we play in our problems really helps take responsibility and take action towards changing our situation. Big facts.
Yeah.
What would, in your situation, because we all have to take responsibility and accountability, right? We all do. What do you think you can take accountability for moving forward to start, having that connection that you're actually looking for, like a real connection?
Yeah, exactly. So not worrying about like the outside kind of things, like literally not worrying about like height or I don't know, because I feel like as you said, like, imagine you meet like your soulmate and like they're same height as me, like, and then I'm just gonna say that, you know what I mean? It's something, things like that happen like a lot.
What about Do you have any male friends?
I do.
What about them? Because if you're friends with them, you obviously clearly like talking to them. You like their company.
Hmm.
So have you ever entertained that?
No.
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 Why not?
Just because, yeah, just no.
Well, you just don't find them attractive.
No, nothing like that. They're good looking, but as I said, like I feel like I don't know. You know what's interesting? I really feel like I've always got on with guys better than females. Like generally, like when I was younger, I used to be drawn towards guys. Like I could have.
You speak quite directly, so I believe that.
Yeah, like
because guys are very much like that.
Yeah, I know exactly, and that's why I kind of like man, not
that.
like man then, but you know what I mean, like.
Yeah. 100%. Have they never ever tried it with you?
What, friends?
Yeah, any male friends? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, it didn't go anywhere. Didn't go anywhere.
do you know what's
No.
really confusing?
Yeah.
For guys, and I understand this, but sometimes it is confusing. Excuse me, it is confusing for guys, where a lot of the qualities that you say that you want in a guy is already around you,
Facts.
but you're just not choosing them, or you're not giving them the opportunity. Now, I'm not saying you should give every guy an opportunity, but if you gave one or two an opportunity, you might surprise yourself.
No, one thing is non-negotiable: career and ambitions. That's because I'm at a stage in my life where I'm excelling, like literally, because I had anyway, so
I get that.
you have to be ambitious, and you have to have big goals. Like, respectfully, you can't.
I understand that. You do know that guys don't look for that in reciprocation, though, on a general note. What do you think they look for? What's the equivalent?
Ooh. I don't know, you know. What, as in, what does a guy look for? What, looks wise, or like in terms of like?
So, like, let's say drive and ambition generally for
Yeah,
a masculine man. That's what makes him attractive to women. What do you think? Let's say on the other side of the spectrum, what do you think a feminine woman has that makes her attractive that maybe he doesn't incorporate himself?
Ooh, that's a good question. That is quite a good question. A feminine woman or just any woman?
I say any woman. I mean, I say feminine because generally a masculine man looks for a feminine woman.
Yeah. I don't know, like not emotional, because guys don't really like that. Guys don't really like emotional women, because a lot of guys don't show emotion, but I feel like,
I think guys accept it, but it's not something they look for. But what do you think they look for? This is really important, by the way, because this is the kind of man you want to get.
Loyalty, of course.
Very true.
Yeah. Looks like guys. Like guys.
Oh, I think you're breaking up a bit. Hold on. You've frozen on my end. Has she frozen for you guys in the chat?
No, I'm frozen on my.
Am I frozen? I feel like
you're not frozen.
Okay, I think you're back now.
Yeah.
Definitely feminine. And this is going to sound shallow, but she has to take care of herself mentally and physically. Both are important. Physically is very much on top of the list, but mentally as well, because she has to be a woman who knows how to handle herself. Yeah, it was you. That's right. Because guys, it's funny, people talk about being hypergamous. You know, you want a guy who's at least more ambition than you. Like, you're like, he has to have drive and stuff because, you know, because
you gotta match my energy. Yeah.
You're like at least or higher, right? So guys are like that when it comes to attractiveness. So guys are like, she has to be at least my level of attractiveness or above. The
Facts.
same way you're like, she has to be my level of success and ambition or above.
Why do you think? I know this is this is a kind of. Why do you think like footballers have trophy wives? Like, you know, do you know what I mean? Exactly.
It's true. It's very true. It's
Yeah.
very true. What's one last thing you want to ask? If you could ask men something today that I can maybe help with.
Why do you guys take so long? I'm like asking to go out to meet up.
To meet up?
Yeah, like what?
To put it real, if we're talking like you match with them on a dating app or you're talking to them and stuff, because he's meeting up with other women.
I know.
That's why. Is the
But I
truth.
could be doing the same thing. But and that's another thing what someone said in the chat. There's so many options. Like,
yeah, but
so many options.
There's only, but that's for a very small percentage of guys. Guys though, most guys don't have that many options.
Are you
think they?
Are you sure?
You think they do?
Do you want to know how many how many girls was on my ex's phone?
Yeah, but
how many messages on his birthday? No.
Yeah, but you're talking about one guy. Okay, let me ask you this question.
No, exactly the minority. But I do believe that most guys have a lot of options.
No. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Out of 50 random guys who would approach you, old, young, fat, slim, black, white, brown, all ages, colors, and creeds, out of 50 random guys who match with you, who swipe on you on a dating app or in a bar or in a club, out of those 50, how many of them do you look at and you go, I like the look and vibe of you enough, I'd go on a date with you? Out of 50.
50. Fuck. Maybe like 2, 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. So let's say less than 5.
Yeah, less than 5. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, okay. Most women are like that. Out of 50 random guys that maybe would approach a woman, most women would get less than 5 a chance. But the issue is the same 5 guys or 3 guys that you would give a chance are the same 3 guys she gives a chance, she gives a chance, she gives a chance. And so what ends up happening is you get a very small percentage of men getting the majority of the opportunity with women. So when you say like you're with this guy for, several amount of time and he had loads of girls in his DMs, it's like the chances are if you found him very desirable, other women found him very desirable too.
Yeah, it was.
Of course.
He was what's that word? Not stereotype. Conventionally very attractive. Very attractive.
Oh, sure. And if a guy's not looking if a guy is in that percentage of men who's attractive enough and desirable enough that he has an abundance of options, unless he's looking to settle down, he's not going to commit to one woman.
That's true.
Because what do we know that guys want?
Pussy.
Right. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why when I say about, and the thing is, it's way harder to be an attractive man today than it ever has been before. Because women have a plethora of options. So the competition is fierce. So back in the day, right, you could have a guy who grew up in the small country town of Norfolk, and he would be choosing from the girl in his village, and the girl, she would be growing up there too, and she'd be choosing from the guy in her village.
Yeah, I know.
But now we have technology, transportation, the internet. So now the hot girl from Norfolk, she can choose from the guys in her village. She can match with the hotshot lawyer in London. She can match with the actor in LA. She can match with the producer in Paris. So now the average guy doesn't look that attractive to her in comparison. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you're on a dating apps, like you're open to everyone, right?
So you don't think it's like both ways? You don't think it's that guys have so many options?
Oh, I know it's not both ways. It's definitely not both ways.
Interesting. That's interesting.
How many on a dating app, how many How many, like, out of like 10, 20 guys, how many do you swipe yes on?
Maybe like 3 or 4, 5 maybe.
Out of that 20, most guys would swipe anywhere between 10 to 15.
Really?
Now, granted, they would probably swipe on girls that maybe they don't find that attractive, but they're still matching with them.
Yeah.
So most guys really do not get a lot of attention at all. That's why it seems impossible to pin down these really desirable guys. If you're telling me that the guy is super attractive, how old was he?
Who are we talking about? My ex.
Yeah, you said he was very attractive.
What was he now? 28, 29, I think. Yeah.
He's 29. I guess he could be marriage minded. If he's not like looking to settle down, he's not choosing.
No, he told me that a long time. He's like, no.
So if you knew he wasn't going to settle down, does it really surprise you that he wasn't going to commit to you?
Because he told me other things, so it was a bit like, oh. But then when I like saw the like messages and stuff, and yeah, it kind of cemented everything together. But I went to a different country and I found some crazy shit. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I hear that. Listen, I want to wrap it up there, but one thing I want to ask you before we go and sign everyone off. What is one thing you're going to move forward to help you get closer to what you want? What are you going to move forward to do?
Not worry about height. I don't know.
Hey, that's a plus in my book. That's progression.
Yeah, not worry about height.
Not worry about height.
But the thing is, it's not a be all and end all. But like,
I know it's not. But you were like, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah. And maybe start taking more like maybe suggest. Obviously, if I'm talking to someone good or whatever, and it seems to be going well, I go a lot of energy.
Of course. Can I challenge you to 2 things for yourself?
Yeah, homework. Love it. Go on.
Yeah. First thing is, if you are talking to a guy on a dating app, don't suggest meeting for a coffee. I'm just saying suggest.
Okay.
I'm not saying plan the date. Coffee is very low stakes, right? Just suggest meeting a coffee, because we live in 2024 now. I've had girls who I dated previously where if I was really busy and they're like, I really want to meet you, they're like, hey, why don't we do this? And I was like, oh yeah, like sure, let's do that. Usually I'll make the plan, but it's happened.
And I have heard that guys like a girl with confidence, like even like girls going up to guys asking for numbers. I have heard that that's like a thing.
Yeah, but we love that because it doesn't happen often. I don't know on one hand how many times I've been like approached from the other side of the bar.
I've done it before. I don't care.
Do you know what I mean? But just suggesting, you're just giving an offer.
And a smoothie. I don't drink coffee, but yeah, a lovely smoothie.
There you go.
Or a matcha or whatever. Yeah.
A matcha, yeah. And then the second thing I want to challenge you to is commit to 2 dates with a guy.
Okay.
Because some people are amazing partners, but they're terrible daters.
Okay.
And some people are amazing daters, but they're terrible partners. And so the first date, especially if he's a good guy, he might have just been a bit nervous. Because maybe he thought you were really cute. Maybe he wanted to make a right impression. Because you were like, I want a guy who likes me. And like, here's a guy who likes you. But the second date, you've had a bit more rapport. You're probably going to be more comfortable with each other. Depending on what the first date was, you might have even shared a kiss or something. That's going to be a closer representation of who he is. The first date is you're just getting acquainted. It's not really a date.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You're just getting acquainted. But the second date, that's like, okay, we kind of know who each other are. How do we show up? And if you get on the second date and you're like, now that I didn't, there's no progression in your affinity towards him, then be like, look, it's been nice meeting you, but I'm not feeling this. Fine. But kind of for the first date.
Well, I meant to say that I could not say that. No, I don't know.
You can say that in person, or you send it in a voice note.
Yeah, man, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, and that's another thing about me. I think, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, but yeah.
I get that, but I guess it's you hurt their feelings more by just ghosting them.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
saying something is actually kinder. And the reason people ghost, the reason we ghost is because we don't have the courage to actually be honest.
Yeah, why do guys ghost? That's what I want to know, actually. Why do guys ghost? Is that the reason?
For the same reason girls ghost.
Interesting, okay.
What have you ever ghosted a guy? Yes, you have.
Yeah, and I've been ghosted as well.
Okay, why did you ghost him?
He was too what's the word? He was too needy, man.
Okay, but you just didn't like him.
Oh, shit. My light's gone off. Oh no.
That's all right.
Every 5 seconds he was like, I was like, what are you doing? Calling me, kind of invading.
You just didn't like him.
Yeah, invade my privacy.
You just didn't like him. That's why guys ghost. Because they're just not feeling her.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Fair enough.
So do those things for yourself. And if she comes back on, guys, I'm gonna ask her if she's done those things.
I'll be back on. I'll be back on.
Do it. Well, Ale, we appreciate you. Let me just get a couple last of these comments about the topic, and then we will get into it. SL Kit is based as fuck. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate you for chiming in, giving your thoughts. Says technology, internet, Instagram, all of the other social media platforms changed the game 100%.
Yeah, man.
SL says match group that own Tinder, Bumble, etc. said a few years ago their own stats that 80% likes go to 20% of men. 80% of likes go to 20% of men. Last comment. DL Saint, the perfect guy for her is currently in the friend zone waiting. All she has to do is call him and he'll be right there. Johnny on the spot. I believe that for sure, but she doesn't. But whether she's ready for that, who knows? But Isla, we appreciate you being open and vulnerable with us tonight. It's not always easy. And yeah, we'll get you one and we'll see where the progress is.
Maybe I'll be loved up with a lovely
maybe loved up. In that case, you don't even need my help. You're good. You're good. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Yes, please like and subscribe on the way out and on the way in if you're watching after the fact. I'm going to be doing more of these in terms of more lives, getting women on, trying to help, you know, what's going on in their situation so we can bring the community together. And if you're a woman, you're watching this, you want to come on the show, drop me a DM and maybe we can make it happen. But Isla, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks so much, guys.
We appreciate you and I will see you next time.
Have a lovely rest of your Sunday.